Go.
Hi, I'm Scott Nance with Access Living. I'm a community supports coordinator.
Uh, shoot. I heard you went to Egypt. What was the purpose of your trip to Egypt?
The purpose of my trip to Egypt was part of an exchange program through the State Department called Hands Along the Nile. And it's an exchange program where Chicagoans get to go to Cairo and Egyptians get to come here to Chicago.
Do you have any memories from your experience there?
My biggest memory was during one of my last days in Cairo, and we were at a school for people with disabilities, Egyptians with disabilities, and there was a young woman who had been discriminated against in Egypt in their schooling. If you fall below standard 4 tiers in a row, you are sent to a segregated setting, a separate special school, and once you go there, there's no avenue to get back into a mainstream or non-segregated setting. So she was kind of stuck, and she asked this very challenging question: why do Americans not like Egyptians? To which some of my partners who I were there with, some other Americans, I wasn't convinced they answered the question. And when I tried to answer the question at first, I was kind of shut down. And the way I started to answer the question was before I started to come to Egypt, my mother supported me 100%. She was very excited for me. My father was very, very scared. And my father was very scared because he had read in the American media all the concerns about explosions and bombs and violence. And that's what Americans know. It was at that point that I was kind of shut down because apparently I was getting political, which I didn't think so. And so at the end of the meeting, I came back and I said, you know what? I don't want the last words you hear from me to be bombs and explosions and violence. That's not what I was trying to get at. And I want to go back and I want to answer this young woman's question. And when I talked about my father and the issues, the concerns that he has, I think that is representative of Americans' fears of what they don't know, of what they don't understand. And that this is in fact perhaps a human trait, part of the human condition, that we fear what we don't understand. So, part of the value of this exchange program, part of the reason why we do this, is so that we can learn from each other and get to understand more about each other and assuage some of those fears. And I told that woman and the rest of the class that was there that the message I bring back to my father and to the rest of America is Egypt is beautiful and Egyptians are beautiful.